God has an urgent and shocking message for you today. You've been trusting a woman in your life who appears loving and caring, but behind closed doors, she's been committing terrible acts of abuse. An arrest warrant has just been issued in the spiritual realm, and soon this will manifest in the physical world. This isn't just spiritual insight. It's a divine warning about someone you thought you knew. God is revealing this hidden evil to prepare your heart and spirit for the devastating truth that's about to be exposed. This message comes with love to help you process what's coming. As you hear these words, know that God sees the horrible truth that's been hidden from everyone around you. It's normal to feel shocked, confused, or even refuse to believe this about someone you trust. But remember that God's vision sees past all masks and pretense. This woman has been living a double life, presenting herself as caring while secretly harming the most innocent. This divine warning is your chance to prepare mentally and spiritually before the public exposure destroys lives and relationships. You're receiving this revelation because God knows your heart can handle this truth and use it for good. Even when discovering someone's evil nature feels impossible to accept, trust that this warning comes as protection for you and others. The arrest warrant exists because justice must finally come for those who have suffered in silence, and knowing this truth helps you become part of their healing. As you think about this woman, examine your interactions with her through new spiritual eyes. Just like a wolf disguises itself in sheep's clothing to get close to innocent lambs, this woman has perfected the art of appearing harmless while hiding her predatory nature. Look back at moments when something felt slightly off, times when children seemed uncomfortable around her, or when your spirit sensed something wasn't right but you dismissed those feelings. Like an iceberg floating in cold waters, you've only seen the small, beautiful tip, while a massive structure of darkness lies hidden beneath the surface. God is lifting the spiritual veil from your eyes so you can see clearly what's been concealed. Pay attention to how she controls conversations about certain topics, how she might isolate potential victims, or how she creates situations where she has power over vulnerable people. Notice if she's quick to judge others for the very behaviors she's secretly committing. Just as light exposes what darkness tries to hide, this divine revelation illuminates the truth about her character. This awareness isn't meant to make you bitter, but to transform you into someone who can protect others from similar deception. This arrest warrant represents divine justice finally breaking through into the physical realm after being delayed for far too long. God's timing is perfect. Even when human suffering seems to continue without consequence, the innocent have been crying out for help, and now heaven is responding with the full weight of divine justice. It's painful to watch evil hide behind respectability while victims suffer in silence. But understand that God sees every tear, every moment of pain, and every cry for help. This revelation comes as part of God's plan to expose hidden wickedness so healing can begin. Sometimes justice appears delayed because God is gathering all the evidence needed to ensure complete exposure and proper consequences. Face this shocking truth with spiritual courage, knowing that divine timing ensures the maximum protection for victims and the complete downfall of their abuser. There's a loving plan working even in the darkest situations, and this arrest represents hope for every person who has been harmed. When devastating truths are revealed, reach out in prayer for understanding and strength. God is always here to give you wisdom to process shocking revelations, and the emotional fortitude to stand with victims as they find their voice and seek healing. As we've discussed, preparing your heart for these shocking divine revelations, I'd like to help prepare you for future spiritual warnings about hidden dangers as well. If these messages about divine justice and protection resonate with your spirit, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to receive more urgent spiritual warnings and divine revelations that could protect you and your loved ones from harm. God has been sending you spiritual signs about this woman that your conscious mind may have overlooked or rationalized away. Divine discernment works through your spirit, to detect danger, even when your eyes see only what appears normal or even admirable. Think back to moments when you felt an unexplained uneasiness around her, times when your stomach tightened for no obvious reason, or when you found yourself making excuses to avoid being alone with her. Children and animals often sense predatory energy before adults do, because they haven't learned to ignore their natural protective instincts. Notice if children seem withdrawn, anxious, or unusually quiet around this woman. Pay attention to how pets react. Do they hide, become aggressive, or show signs of fear in her presence? These reactions aren't coincidental, but divine warning systems alerting you to spiritual darkness. Your dreams may have carried messages about her true nature through symbols of deception, danger, or protection. Perhaps you've had recurring thoughts about checking on someone she has access to, or felt compelled to pray for children's safety without understanding why. These weren't random thoughts, but your spirit receiving divine downloads about hidden evil. God equipped you with spiritual radar to detect what the enemy tries to conceal. That inner voice warning you to be cautious. Those moments when her smile seemed forced or her kindness felt calculated, these were divine nudges preparing you for this revelation. Trust these spiritual instincts because they connect you directly to God's protective wisdom, helping you become a guardian for the innocent. This divine revelation comes with a sacred calling to stand as a protector for those who cannot protect themselves. God is surrounding every victim with guardian angels and spiritual warriors like you who will fight for justice and healing. This woman's arrest isn't just about punishment. It's about creating safety for those who have lived in fear and silence. The universe is orchestrating this exposure specifically to bring healing to wounded hearts and ensure no more innocent people suffer at her hands. Your prayers create a spiritual shield around victims, giving them strength to speak their truth and find the courage to seek help. Divine love flows through believers like you to break the chains of fear that keep abuse hidden in darkness. This warning empowers you to become part of God's justice system, standing up against evil wherever it tries to hide. Feel the weight of this responsibility with gratitude, knowing that God trusts you with this knowledge because you have the spiritual strength to act with wisdom and compassion. Every prayer you pray for victims, every moment you spend asking God to expose hidden evil, contributes to a safer world. You are being called into spiritual warfare not as a warrior seeking revenge, but as a guardian fighting to protect precious lives from further harm. This arrest warrant represents a major victory in the ongoing battle between light and darkness that rages in both spiritual and physical realms. The enemy's greatest weapon is deception, hiding evil behind masks of respectability, kindness, and even religious devotion. For too long, this woman has operated under spiritual camouflage, using people's trust and goodness against them, while secretly destroying innocent lives. God's perfect timing in revealing her true nature shows that no evil can remain hidden forever when divine justice decides to act. This exposure is part of a larger spiritual cleansing happening across communities, institutions, and families where predators have been hiding in plain sight. Your faith becomes a powerful weapon in this battle, because truth always defeats deception when light shines in dark places. Prepare yourself spiritually for the intense warfare ahead, because exposing hidden evil often triggers desperate attempts to maintain control. Through manipulation, threats, or false accusations, the enemy will try to discredit victims and defenders alike. But your spiritual armor, faith, truth, prayer, and divine protection, makes you victorious in this battle. Recognize that participating in this exposure puts you on the front lines of spiritual warfare, but also connects you to God's army of justice fighters working to protect society from hidden predators who prey on innocence. Just as God reveals hidden truths to protect the innocent, your support helps us continue exposing dangerous deceptions that threaten vulnerable people in our communities. A small super thanks of $5, $10, or $20 allows these crucial divine warnings to reach parents, families, and communities who need to know about hidden predators. Your contribution becomes a spiritual investment in child protection and community safety. This arrest warrant marks the beginning of a long but necessary healing journey for every person this woman has harmed. God's justice brings light to the darkest situations, creating space for truth, telling, accountability, and genuine restoration. Witnessing divine justice in action strengthens your faith and shows you how God works to protect the innocent, even when evil seems to triumph for a season. The healing process requires the entire community of support. Therapists, counselors, spiritual leaders, family members, and friends who can create safe spaces for victims to process their trauma and rebuild their lives. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes of destroyed deception, new life and hope can emerge from even the most devastating situations when God's love surrounds the healing process. Your role in this restoration involves prayer, practical support, and creating an atmosphere where truth can be spoken without shame or fear. Divine restoration works miracles even in situations that seem completely broken, bringing beauty from ashes and joy from mourning. Trust that God's healing power is already working in every life that's been touched by this woman's evil, creating testimonies of survival, strength, and ultimate victory. As you process this shocking revelation about the woman in your life, make it a daily habit to say, "I am divinely protected from hidden evil." Speak these words with complete faith each morning and evening. This simple practice builds a spiritual fortress around you that deception cannot penetrate. When doubt creeps in, or when others try to defend this woman's character, pause for a moment and connect with the divine wisdom that revealed this truth to you. Create energetic boundaries through prayer that shield you and your loved ones from manipulative people who wear masks of goodness. Trust that God is showing you how to recognize predatory behavior before it causes harm. Begin each day asking for spiritual discernment to see past facades and into people's true hearts. When you fill your mind with divine protection prayers, you become sensitive to warning signs that others might miss. Practice gratitude for this difficult revelation because it prevents future victims from suffering. Your spiritual awareness becomes a gift that protects not just your family but your entire community. Faith-based protection creates an invisible shield that evil cannot cross, keeping you and those you love safe from hidden dangers lurking behind friendly faces. Understanding this arrest as a fulfilled spiritual prophecy shows you how God works to expose hidden evil at exactly the right moment. This revelation wasn't random. It came to you because you have the spiritual strength to handle difficult truths and use them to protect others. Your calling extends beyond just knowing about this woman to helping your community recognize similar hidden dangers in their own circles. Divine discernment is a gift that grows stronger as you exercise it through prayer and spiritual awareness. Share this heightened sensitivity with trusted friends and family members so they too can detect predatory behavior before it destroys innocent lives. You're being equipped to build a network of spiritually aware protectors who can identify wolves in sheep's clothing before they strike. Your experience with this shocking revelation creates a legacy of child protection and community safety that will impact generations. Support law enforcement through prayer as they investigate and prosecute this case, knowing that spiritual warfare backs up physical justice. Contribute to a safer world by teaching others to trust their spiritual instincts about people who seem too good to be true, because predators often hide behind excessive charm and fake kindness. In closing, as we face the aftermath of this devastating revelation and whatever emotions it brings, let's move forward with deeper spiritual awareness and unwavering commitment to protecting the innocent. Be prepared to welcome God's continued revelations about hidden evil. Face difficult conversations about people you once trusted, and recognize the peace that comes from choosing truth over comfortable illusions. Trust in the power of prayer and divine justice working through law enforcement and community action. You're on a path to becoming a spiritual guardian, surrounded by divine love and equipped with supernatural discernment. Keep saying, "I am divinely protected from hidden evil," and watch as God gives you the wisdom to see through every deception and the courage to act when innocent lives are at stake. This revelation transforms you into a protector of the vulnerable and a warrior for truth in a world where evil often hides behind respectability. If this divine revelation has opened your eyes to hidden evil in your own life, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more urgent spiritual warnings about predators and protection. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a warning that could save innocent lives. When you share this message, you become part of God's network protecting children and vulnerable people from hidden abusers. Dear Lord, please give us strength to face shocking truths about people we trusted and the wisdom to see your justice working through difficult revelations. Amen. If this message has prepared you for devastating truth or helped you recognize hidden evil, consider showing your appreciation with a super thanks of $5, $10, $20 or more. Your support helps us continue sharing these critical divine warnings with communities that need protection from hidden predators. Please share in the comments if you've experienced similar divine revelations about people's hidden nature, or what spiritual topics about recognizing evil you'd like to hear in our next video. Your experiences help us bring the most important protection messages to those who need them most.